Hey everybody, and welcome back to the shop. Thought I'd show you what this clear looked like after it's set up. It's pretty clear. Don't have a whole lot of shrinkage on it, which is nice. See if we can get it out of this thing. This has been in here, since today's Saturday. So it's been in here since Thursday. Let's set up this camera where I can get this thing out and we'll look at it. Sometimes it takes two hands. It ain't quite set up good and hard, you can see. But yeah. Probably could have stood about 2 or 3 more days setting up. That thing would have been, it probably would have shrunk enough to pull it away, but you can see just minimal shrinkage. There's a little bit of a lip right here, but not too bad. I like this clear. It goes on good too. This is the shop line European. This is the epoxy. I finally took the plug out where it would hurry up and harden up. It's still not good and hard. I usually wait till the stuff hardens up before I throw it in the trash. There's a spider in there. This thing shop's full of spiders. So today is windy outside, so I'm going to go ahead and start putting the door handle and all back on the door, get the latch reinstalled. And it goes back together a lot easier than it comes apart. The door handle has this little rod, and it's got a little notch on the end of it, you can see. And that little notch, that rod's going to fit through this little keeper right here, and on the back side, maybe y'all can see it. That little notch fits in this little piece of metal. I'll show you what this thing looks like. To get it off, you have to pull down. It's got a little clip in here that goes in this hole, so you have to get it out of the hole and pull it down. This thing don't come off real easy. Getting this thing apart is really a pain to try to get something in there. I'll show you what one looks like. This is how I organize all my parts, my small parts, is put them in these things, and then a lot of them I label on top so I know what it is. I wish I had done that originally, because some things I had to just kind of guess, and some things I just have no idea what they are. I've got 4 of these, and they're just full of miscellaneous parts and screws and clips and plugs. And of course the one I want is on the bottom. Show you what this clip looks like off the metal there. So this is it. So on the back side, it's got this little thing. It slides over the metal, and then it's got this little notch in it right here that clips in. So on the back of that, anyway, getting it back on, getting that rod through here is a lot easier than it is getting it off. Now some things have this type clip on them, so this goes in, the rod goes through that, and then it latches onto the rod, holds the rod in place. I like these a lot better. These are easy. So yeah. Well, this is a handy idea if you're doing any kind of restoration. I got these from Harbor Freight for like $3. You can make the inside as wide as you want. These are fixed, but the dividers you can put in, take out, and it makes things a lot easier, especially if you label it. Like I said, $3 if you want to label everything. And I use a Sharpie, so it's permanent, or you can use a piece of tape. Right on the tape, you can pull the tape back off, whatever you want to do. It's real handy. So let's go in there, and first we'll get the latch installed. and then the handle. And I think I've got some more gaskets for this handle. I had to end up, the gaskets that came off, I mean, I could reuse, but the stickiness is not sticky no more. I think I got some more of these, so let me look, see what I can find. Of course, we'll put the door lock back in and it just clips on real easy. May not be able to film inside the door, but we can get you, try to get the best shot we can. Basically, we're going to put the latch in, and we've got to stick it into from the inside the door. And so this thing is really only going to go one way. You got two screws at the bottom, one at the top. It's going to match up with the holes in the door. And these are Phillips head. And like I said, the door handle is going to go through this one, and the this one goes to the door latch on the inside, so it works like that. And then of course the lock thing is going to go through this hole. The door lock mechanism is going to go in this hole, and the lock rod will go into this hole, along with the door lock, automatic power door locks. So here it gets a little bit tricky. This thing in. Get it lined up, but it's not too bad. Just line up the bolt hole, get you one started. And I painted these latches like a flat black just so they wouldn't stand out. I mean, I think they look a little better, kind of muted. I didn't want to paint them blue. Take the Phillips head. I mean, I also painted these bolt heads blue. I used that spray can blue that I got from the auto parts store, and you know, I painted them a while back, so they've been on and off a couple times. I probably should repaint them. That matches this blue pretty well, you know, close enough. I mean, I wouldn't want to probably you know, spray it on a panel or something, but as far as hardware goes, unless you just know that that it ain't the same paint, you can't really tell. Alright, so once we got that in, now we're ready to put the door lock mechanism in. So I'm going to install this, and I'll give y'all a shot inside the door once I get it installed. But this thing's got a little clip that holds this lever on. You can see this lever turns. This little clip's got a lock mechanism that goes into a hole. So to remove this, to replace this, you got to pull this clip back. Then you can take this off, and you know, and it's a little bit weird looking, but it does work. So I'm not sure which way. Let's see. I think it's thinking only going one way. You got a narrow one here and a little wider one here. So on the door, you see the narrow one points to the edge of the door. So it's going to go in like this right here. Let me zoom you into this door here. So it can only go in that way. So we're going to tip it in. We're going to look in here. We're going to line it up with the lever. Then we got to line the sides up. Then we'll put a little clip on it. And I'll show you what that looks like inside the door. Get some light in here. So you can see it goes through that lever, and the clip just goes on through the little tabs there. And that holds it on. It's real easy to take on and off by hand. So I had to get y'all out of the glare. These lights are really glaring on this thing. Alright, now I found the other gaskets. I got these through LMC. This is the right hand gasket number 385413. The left hand is 5412. So this being the passenger side. Alright, so apparently this gasket goes on the handle and not the door. The other gaskets I had put on the door and not the handle, but I believe this is going to be the proper way of doing it. Alright, so you don't actually stick this gasket on the door, and then the other one will go here. So I had them backwards. And if I had to put them on right to start with, I would not have to do this again, because it would have just came right off the door instead of sticking to the door. Yeah, so gasket's on. Now you do have to mash in the button to get this thing to go through this hole right here. I don't care about the rod right now. We just want to get everything in the hole. That right there. And we'll grab our bolts. Go ahead and get our bolts started. And one of these bolts I painted that blue, and the other I didn't because it's not going to show inside the door. I'll show you. I mean, if you just didn't know any better, I don't know if you would actually notice that that ain't the same paint color. Very hard to see. Alright, well, we can see, maybe, there's the door handle, and the rod's laying right there, and the rod's gonna go into that piece that's laying behind. I'm gonna turn you up sideways. So right there. So we're gonna turn that rod around. And it's gonna go I'm gonna have to have both hands. So I'll bring you back when I get this rod in. It's a little bit of a pain. Alright, so I got it in, and once you get it started, see it. Alright, so once you get the rod started in the hole, you can take a pair of needle nose and push it in. But you should know when it latches in, clips in. So as far as we're concerned right now, we're good to be able to go ahead and mount this back on the cab. So anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Stay tuned for more.